What's going on, Turning Point? Wow. You guys are a serious tribute to everything that Charlie stood for. The last time I gave a big speech was actually right here in Phoenix at his memorial, and it was a little bit of a different feeling. But to see this many young, patriotic Americans in a room, record numbers for Turning Point, just shows what's going on. Charlie's courage is why you guys are all here. His willingness to lead, to push people through is incredible. And honestly, I was concerned. I was worried. I was worried that without Charlie, this room would go out like it was 10 years ago when we started this incredible voyage, and it would dissipate. But this is literally double what it was last year, and that was a record. So that is a testament to you, to your patriotism, to your bravery, to your resolve, and to everything that Charlie stood for. So you guys fired up? You guys having some fun? How many students are in the room right now? Raise your hands. I feel good, guys. I feel good about the future. Who's ready to take the next step and start a Turning Point chapter at a college that perhaps isn't there already? Who's doing it at high schools right now? I love this. Guys, we cannot sit this one out, okay? Everything depends on it. The future of our country, our children, Western civilization. It's now on all of you. So, other than God, family, and country, Charlie had some incredible things we needed to talk about in politics. You heard some of that from Speaker Johnson just now. But immigration matters. It's a fight that this administration is taking on. We've realized that if you import the third world, you become the third world. And we're not gonna let that happen. Because of radical Democrat policies, millions of people poured into this country that should have never been there. They jacked up the price of rents, the cost of goods, diminished our healthcare system and our education systems. And that's all ending. I heard a little bit of a snippet from Tom Homan, who's probably like typecasting for getting this done. And we are winning. We are taking back our country. Make no mistake, guys, it was intentional, okay? It took my father 2 weeks to shut down the border, to end the insanity. We didn't need new policies. We didn't need new people there. We needed a new president who was willing to follow the law and get things done. We're seeing the consequences of Joe Biden's policies and Democrat policies in general. Terror attacks. A couple of our National Guardsmen were killed a few weeks ago. We're seeing the crime. We're seeing the chaos. And responsibility for that doesn't just fall on Democrats. It falls on so many of the weak Republicans who just capitulated to the DC swamp. And we're going to put an end to that, too. Some of the lauded voices, even in the Republican Party, demanded we bring in tens of thousands of unvetted Afghan refugees. For years, they turned Minnesota into little Somalia. How's that working out for anyone? I'm not sure, guys. I keep hearing diversity is our strength, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. My father, J.D. Vance, Charlie fought to stop the nonsense. A country cannot survive when it imports people who don't share their values. We don't owe the world a thing. We owe Americans their American dream, and we intend to fulfill that. It sounds tough, but we deserve it for the future, for the next generation, for all of you who are going to take on the mantle and lead this country to continued greatness. Now, we're getting rid of the nonsense, and it's going to be great. The other big issue that Charlie and I fought so hard for was the MAGA movement. Charlie, myself, Susie Wiles, a small cadre of people, were the guys that brokered that deal. So we stop allowing Big Pharma to put profits over actual health, to stop the insanity of jacking up our children with thousands of vaccines they don't need. Profits don't matter more than health. And when you do need actual health, they're fighting to make sure that Americans pay less than Europe. None of this nonsense where you buy a drug for $1,000 and in Europe, American drugs are being sold for pennies on the dollar. That doesn't work, and they ended that with the most favored nation's executive order just a couple of days ago. And the big one of the ones I've been fighting since like 2015. I didn't realize it would even turn into a thing because it was always so insane to me. The transgender issue. There's going to be no more castrating our children for Big Pharma and medical profit. That bullshit ends now. Federal funding is being cut off for sex change operations for minors. I never understood it. I never understood. I say, wait. So a 3-year-old can decide to permanently mutilate their body, be put on toxic drugs for the rest of their life. But a 25-year-old has no idea what they're doing when they're signing for their student loans. The most elite in America, the academically inclined, somehow don't seem that elite when they need a plumber to pay their student loans. That ends too. And the number one issue, again, outside of God, family, and country for Charlie, something he fought and something he died for, was free speech. Free speech is alive and well in 2025. Charlie rejected the notion of being canceled for what you thought, for having that dialogue. Charlie, on it every day, he opened up one of the largest platforms in the world to those who despised him most. He allowed them to speak. He had that dialogue. They killed him for it. They killed him for it. Not because he was so radical, but because he was so effective. When people were able to hear both sides of an argument, wow, it's amazing what happens. For years, we've fought the censorship complex.